Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome to our 6th day of Ascension through Ramadan. Inshallah, we'll begin with the Quran recitation with its English translation.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Waylun lil mutaffifin. الذين إذا اكتالوا على الناس يستوفون وإذا كالوهم أو وزنوهم يخسرون ألا يظن أولئك أنهم مبعوثون ليوم عظيم يوم يقوم الناس لرب العالمين كلا إن كتاب الفجار لفي سجين وما أدراك ما سجين كتاب مرقوم ويل يومئذ للمكذبين الذين يكذبون بيوم الدين وما يكذب به إلا كل معتد أثيم إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال أساطير الأولين كلا بل ران على قلوبهم ما كانوا يكسبون كلا إنهم عن ربهم يومئذ لمحجوبون ثم إنهم لصالو الجحيم ثم يقال هذا الذي كنتم به تكذبون كلا إن كتاب الأبرار لفي عليين وما أدراك ما عليون كتاب مرقوم يشهده المقربون إن الأبرار لفي نعيم على الأرائك ينظرون تعرف في وجوههم نضرة النعيم يسقون من رحيق مختوم ختامه مسك وفي ذلك فليتنافس المتنافسون ومزاجه من تسنيم عينا يشرب بها المقربون إن الذين أجرموا كانوا من الذين آمنوا يضحكون وإذا مروا بهم يتغامزون وإذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم انقلبوا فكهين وإذا رأوهم قالوا إن هؤلاء لضالون وما أرسلوا عليهم حافظين فاليوم الذين آمنوا من الكفار يضحكون على الأرائك ينظرون هل ثوب الكفار ما كانوا يفعلون صدق الله العظيم.
يا حبيب يا الله يا رؤوف يا الله يا عطوف يا الله يا معروف يا الله يا لطيف يا الله يا عظيم يا الله يا حنان يا الله يا منان يا الله يا ديان يا الله يا سبحان يا الله يا أمان يا الله يا برهان يا الله يا سلطان يا الله يا مستعان يا الله يا محسن يا الله يا متعالي يا الله يا رحمن يا الله يا رحيم يا الله يا كريم يا الله يا مجيد يا الله يا فرد يا الله يا وتر يا الله يا أحد يا الله يا صمد يا الله يا محمود يا الله يا صادق الوعد يا الله يا علي يا الله يا غني يا الله يا شافي يا الله يا كافي يا الله يا معافي يا الله يا باقي يا الله يا هادي يا الله يا قادر يا الله يا ساتر يا الله يا قهار يا الله يا جبار يا الله يا غفار يا الله يا فتاح يا الله.
Dear brothers and sisters, today in Speaker's Corner we have Sheikh Sanaullah Seti Al-Azhari. He is an Imam serving in East London. Welcome, Imam Sanaullah.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. It's a pleasure to have you here, and today our topic is going to be about the spiritual benefits and uplift of Ramadan. I'd like to start off with, why is it that Ramadan seems to have such a profound impact on our spirituality, particularly given the physical hardships that it entails?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammad wa barik wa sallim. Salatun wa salaman alayka ya Rasulullah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habibullah. Firstly, dear viewers, and from the platform of Rumi Masjid, all of those hosting brothers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to be a part of your event this evening, and I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He blesses all of the viewers and those that have made it possible for this event to be live, inshallah. In answer to your question, alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed us with the month of Ramadan al-Kareem, and you have questioned that why is it we have to go through hardships, and through hardships what do we receive in terms of Ramadan al-Kareem? Is that correct?
Yes, so the spirituality aspect of it, how does it uplift our spirituality, especially with a lot of physical hardships involved?
Beautiful. So there's many aspects and there's many answers to your question. I won't go into a very lengthy answer, but just to understand that if you just concentrate on how Ramadan al-Kareem is different to other months, how it uplifts your spirituality, is that month about which in the Messenger of Allah 3 months prior, in the month of Rajab, 3 months prior to the month of Ramadan al-Kareem, the Messenger of Allah would begin to make dua in preparation of the month of Ramadan al-Kareem. So you can imagine how this month plays such an important has such an important relevance within Islam, and how different this month actually is. That the preparations of this month is being done 3 months in advance, where the Messenger of Allah is making dua that, oh Allah, bless our Rajab, bless our Sha'ban and take us and enter us into the month of Ramadan al-Kareem. So we understand the first aspect of it, that this month is being prayed for 3 months in advance, number one. Secondly, yes, of course there's hardship, and there's nothing, as the famous saying is, there's no gain without pain. Yeah, of course there is definitely hardship, but let's see the reward and the blessings that we receive from these hardships as well. That the spiritual uplift that Ramadan al-Kareem, the moment, the first eve of Ramadan that comes, Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala, companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mentioned that on the first eve of Ramadan al-Kareem, on the first night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes an announcement. And that announcement that he makes, he says that all of the doors of paradise have now been opened. And all of the doors of hellfire, of An-Nar, have been closed. And all of the shayateen, the devils, have been chained up. So straight away an atmosphere has been created for you, that in this month, where now the shaitan, which continues whispering in your ears throughout the year, as the Holy Quran says, min sharril waswasil khannas, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects us from the waswas, from the whispers of shaitan. We seek refuge in this. But this is that month that now that shaitan that normally in other months was able to whisper, now it's not the shaitan that's whispering in your ear anymore. Now why it becomes hard is now the only thing turning you away from the spiritual side and the physical and the religious side of Islam is only your inner desire, your ego. And there's a treatment for your ego as well, because it's your desire now that's saying, are you sure you really want to fast? Are you sure you really want to stay hungry? Are you sure you really want to stay awake in the night? That's your ego, your desire, your nafs saying that. And for solution of the nafs, the Messenger of Allah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us 2 solutions that treat the nafs. And this is why the hardship is there, but there's a treatment for it as well. What is the treatment of the nafs? The Prophet said, the one who spends his day in siyam, he spends his day in a fast, and spends his night in qiyam. So when you're fasting throughout the day and you're praying, you're standing in worship throughout the night, in tarawih, in recitation, in ibadah, these 2 things are those that are enabling you to treat your nafs, enabling you to treat your desire. And that's why, because you're treating your desire, that's why there's a treatment for these hardships, and at the same time the reward for these hardships, as I said, are immense. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has opened the doors of Al-Jannah, closed the doors of the fire of hell, locked up the shayateen, and said that fasting is the act. Says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fasting is the act that is merely for me. You cannot show off for fasting. You cannot tell you can't show anyone that you're fasting. No one knows. You can go in a corner and have something to eat. Nobody will know. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, because fasting is merely for me, that's why the reward is from me as well. I will reward fasting, just like other deeds and other rewards I have announced. If you do this act, this is your reward. If you follow in these directions, this is what you will end up with. For every deed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned the reward. But for fasting, he said that reward is merely from me. I will give the believer the reward of fasting.
SubhanAllah. Sheikh, why do you think fasting has such emphasis? Why is the rewards for fasting so huge in opposed to the other forms of worship?
Beautiful. So remember, the Holy Quran has mentioned that the purpose of fasting, number one. And secondly, the Holy Quran has mentioned that all you who believe fasting was prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you, so that you may attain taqwa, piety. Now, remember one thing. Fasting is an act that is loved so much that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he's announcing the Holy Quran about fasting, he's informing you that this is not something new you're doing. This is not something that people are not used to before you. Yes, their fasting may have been different. Their fasting may not have been of in the month of Ramadan. Their fasting may not have been of 30 days. It may have been different. But just remember, fasting is so beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that previous nations before you used to do this as well. So this is the practice of previous nations. All you who believe, fasting has been prescribed to you just like it was prescribed to those before you. So previous nations were doing this as well. so that you may attain piety, so that you may attain taqwa, so that you may become pious and saintly in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So coming back to your question, which was,
why is fasting, why does it have such a distinct reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why is it different from the other rewards?
Beautiful. I'm gonna answer this in the same way, and as I answered in a more, because I'm concentrating on the spiritual aspect of fasting, so I'm gonna answer it in that spiritual way. The reason why fasting has more of an impact and more of a reward and more efforts, because fasting is that every other act that you have to do, be it your prayers, it's an act that you can do in various forms. What I mean by that is that if you're ill, if your health does not permit you, you can sit down and do your prayers. If you're in a serious condition, you can lie down and do your prayers. If you're in an even more serious condition and you still are able to do your prayer, you can even do your prayer through movements as well. But fasting is something, and in the same way as zakat, and same way as the various other things, but fasting is something that you are being told to leave and refrain from something that you're used to every single day of the year, which is food and drink, something that you survive upon, something that you know there's no movement without, there's no action without, there's no energy without. So something, the main source of your energy, in your physical energy, which is food and drink, the main source of your physical energy, which is food and drink, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you to leave that, refrain from it. This is why the reward is higher, because why? What is the reason for this? The reason for this is Allah is telling you, because it's not, your life doesn't just merely rely upon the food and drink, this physical energy. No, there's a spiritual energy as well. There's something that's called the soul that exists within you as well. And that soul also requires energy as well. And that soul also requires strength as well. But the difference between the strength of your body and the strength of that soul is that your body requires food and drink in order to get energy. And that soul requires you to refrain from food and refrain from drink and replace it with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with ibadat and worship. And that's what strengthens the soul, that's what strengthens the soul within you and provides you with blessings and barakah, and provides you with an outcome of such beauty. Because what I mean by such beauty, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that on the day of judgment, because what do we do in Ramadan al-Kareem? We spend our day in Sawm and fasting, and we spend our night in recitation. The Prophet said, Sawm, fasting, and the Holy Quran, they will intercede for you on the day of judgment. Both of them. This is mentioned that the fasting on the day of judgment, fasting, Sawm, and Quran will intercede for you and say, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm a witness for you I'm a witness. Quran will say, I'm a witness throughout the night he used to recite me. And the fasting will say, I'm a witness throughout the day he used to refrain from food and drink. And the Messenger of Allah said, both of their intercession will be accepted by Allah.
What advice would you have for us as Muslims to maintain our spirituality during the month of Ramadan? What activities would you advise us to engage in to help our spirituality?
Very, very beautiful, especially in Ramadan 2020. In terms of spirituality, the way I would like to answer this is, look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Sibghat Allah. This is the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that everyone has a selection of colors that they love. Yeah, we all have a desire of colors that we love. Some love a green color, some love a blue color, i.e. everyone has some action, some form of action, some form of desire that they love in someone. Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, in the same way, I have a unique color as well. I have a unique color as well. Sibghat Allah. Yeah, and there's no color that is better than my color. And what I mean by color is that there's no method, there's no way that's better than the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in this month, if you want to gain those colors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reflect. reflection. If we want to reflect on those colors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and uplift our spirituality, we know that the month of Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why is it different? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does not eat or drink, or there's no need for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to rely on food and rely on drink. So, Sibghatullah, when we refrain from food and drink, we're also adopting that color, that method of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the same way, Allah does not need to sleep. He does not sleep, or our requirements, which is 8 hours or 4 hours or etc., etc. Allah does not sleep. So when we refrain from sleep in the month of Ramadan, again, Sibghatullah, we're adopting that unique method, that unique color of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not waliyadu billah, use foul mouth, foul language, or doesn't get angry, or doesn't, yeah. So in the same way, when we in the month of Ramadan al-Kareem, when we use our lisan, when we use our tongue, and we refrain from arguments and refrain from backbiting and refrain from getting angry or saying anything that will harm anyone or saying anything that will hurt anyone, that will also start adopting that method and that color of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the way we can uplift our iman in Ramadan 2020, as we know, the coronavirus pandemic has hit home, has opened up the eyes for many, many people. Yeah, this is such a virus that at the moment there's no solution for. Everyone is in fear of. The only thing we're told is to take these certain precautions, wearing a mask where we can, wearing gloves, ensuring that we're washing our hands. Then this is the most beautiful month to practice that. Why? Because we are to do our prayers. Before our prayers, ablution is required. Wudu is required. So we have to purify ourselves 5 times a day. And then throughout the day, we're doing our prayers. And in this month, especially this month of 2020, if we are a home worker or if we're now staying indoors, as we know we're unable to go to the masjid, my advice is to have a place within the house or make a place within the house that you can classify as the masjid. For the whole month of Ramadan, let that be a place where you do your prayers. Let that specific place be a place where you spend your days, you spend your nights, you do your worship, you do your ibadat. That place where you interact with social media platforms that are benefiting you. Lectures like you would go to attend a halaqah, to attend a lecture to any mosque or any venue, any center. Do that right from that masjid that you have made in your own house. Yeah, and spend your meaning that you can, everything is in your hand. You can now utilize everything. The whole world is still running on social networks. So just because we physically cannot go to the masjid, does that mean that our ibadah stop? No. This means that now we should utilize the right platform that we have. We have our books, we have our Quran, we have our tasbih, we have the right social media platform. We place that venue, and then we spend our days, we spend our nights in worship. And remember, when we do this, look at the reward for this. The Messenger of Allah, Rasulullah said, on every night of Ramadan al-Kareem, on every night of Ramadan al-Kareem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frees people from the fire of hell. On every night. So that's a wake-up call for us. How should we spend our nights? How do we know what night of this month Allah will free us? So that's why we should spend our every night trying to do better than the previous night. If we started with a few surahs, let's start reciting half of the sifara. If we start with half of the chapter, let's start reciting one sifara, one chapter a day. I increase little by little, day by day, just in our askar, day by day, in our tasbih, day by day, in our ibadat, in our nawafil. We increase day by day. Then that day where finally our turn comes and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, this day we're freeing this person from the fire. Oh, alhamdulillah, you've achieved your target, you've achieved your goal, you've become selected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as being freed from the fire of hell. And what more do you want? What more can you ask for?
Jazakallah khair for that, Imam. I mean, may Allah make our current day better than our day before, inshallah, with the message you gave. And inshallah, every night we should aim to hope to be freed from the hellfire, inshallah. So Imam, earlier on you said that our soul, our body feeds on water and food, etc. But on the other hand, our soul doesn't want the food and drink. It's maybe harmful, I suppose, excessive amounts would be harmful for our soul. So what should be the balance between our body and our soul?
MashaAllah, very beautiful question. And the way I would like to answer this question is, if you ask a person who exercises, has a routine of exercise, has a trainer, yeah, and wants to ensure that his body is kept in full nick, yeah, he's exercising, he knows what to eat, what not to. You will go to a trainer, and the trainer will list out the things to eat and the things not to eat, the things to drink and the things not to drink, the thing what you should maximize it and what you should minimize it. Yeah? Are these not efforts we make for the world to make sure our we have the, you know, a six-pack, or we have the most beautiful, unique body, or where, you know, our body is muscular, looks amazing, looks different. These are practices that we do, yeah. And every household you see, you know, right now, majority, if you're looking at reading the, you know, following the media these days, right now, a lot of people that are getting depressed, they're getting depressed from not going to the gym, yeah, because they have a routine. So we know that we take so much, and in the same way, our sisters, our women, yeah. What sister, what women do you know who steps outside the house? I'm not talking about the common, our common respected sisters who wear the niqab. I'm saying generally in our society, what woman do you know who wakes up in the morning and will step straight outside the house? Very, very minimal. You know, they'll spend an hour doing the makeup, ensuring they beautify themselves, ensuring they're looking, you know, that extra nice and gorgeous and etc., and then they step outside. In the same way, there's a limit for everything. Yeah, just like we do what we can for our physicality. In the same way, for spirituality, there's a limit as well. Now, how do we define that balance? There's no other, there's no place that or we should look into, or no other method we should adopt other than looking at the example of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if we look at what did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to eat, what did he, you know, what was his food? Yeah, and that's when you'll start seeing that when these dates, yeah, for example, dates, having 7 dates, the Prophet ﷺ would have dates, 7 dates and some water and some salt. Mm-hmm. Now, if we were to really stick onto that as our diet, we don't know the date actually has enough nutrients in it, has enough vitamins in it, has enough energy in it for us to last. Yeah, but nowadays we're living in that life where everything that we see, the chickens that we see, what's the word I'm looking for, are injected, and you know, everything that we get, you know, basically we don't have the purity of anything in what we purchase nowadays.
Artificial ingredients, maybe, is that the word you're looking for?
Artificial ingredients, and something that's, it's not a so everything that we receive, you know, we're able to purchase nowadays, there's always something added to it. You know, it's not pure like it used to be pure. So yes, there is a balance, and the best balance is to look at how much the Prophet ﷺ would consume, and he has explained that in the hadith. He says that when you take, when you're having your meal, when you're having your food, yeah. So that is the balance. If we say that, but we don't do this, we go, you know, we hit we take the boundary line above all of them. And that's why, and that's what makes us weak, because it makes us tired. It enables us to become fatigued, and when we become tired and we become fatigued, that's when we want to, you know, avoid our worship and avoid that.
And ultimately, it will affect uplifting of our spirituality, if I'm correct. Yeah.
When you're weak, the Prophet ﷺ said, you should, you should eat less, sleep less, and talk less. These 3 are the advice that were given by Rasulullah. Eat less, sleep less, and communicate, talk less. So if we were to act upon these are 3 treatments for our spirituality, our treatment for our ruhaniyah.
Jazakallah khair, Imam. Thank you for being with us today, and I think you've gave some important points for us to consider there. Inshallah, you know, this Ramadan we do eat less, we do sleep less, and talk less, and worship more. Inshallah, this Ramadan becomes an opportunity for that.
Ameen.
Okay, Imam, have a blessed Ramadan, inshallah.
Inshallah ta'ala, and I make dua that everyone, all of our viewers and the Ummah at large, they all are able to have a very beautiful Ramadan al-Kareem, and may this Ramadan al-Kareem be a month of worship, ibadah, and ultimate achievement of Jannah, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
We will now listen to the summary of the 6th juz.
Summary of the 6th juz, Surat Al-Nisa, continued. If someone unfairly treated, they can reveal the wrongdoer's identity. Furthermore, believers are taught an important principle of religion. It's all or none. You can't choose to do one thing and leave out another. It's a complete submission or complete rejection. No halfway. Next is the story of Prophet Isa and how the Jews betrayed him. The Qur'an is categorical about Isa not being killed. He was raised alive to heaven and will return near the end of time. Despite this severe criticism of Jews and Christians, we are reminded not to stereotype and say they are not alike, for some are guided and some others are misguided. The process of revelation was the same for all the prophets. So Isa alayhi salam was no different from the rest of the prophets. So why do you regard Isa as the son of God? Those who deny the truth and stop others from the path of Allah have wandered far. People are warned, don't be fanatics or stretch the meanings of the Gospels in a way that contradicts the teachings of Isa. So, those who believe in Allah and hold firmly to their belief in Him will be treated kindly with His grace, and He will guide them towards Himself along a straight path. Another law of inheritance. Those who would die childless, if they had a sister, she would inherit half. If there is 2 sisters, they inherit 2/3. Surah Al-Ma'idah, the feast, was revealed in Medina after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, except verse 3. Today I have completed your religion for you, which was revealed at the farewell Hajj, 10 AH. The period after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah marked a new era in the history of Muslims. Now they were free to preach and propagate Islam in the Arabian Peninsula as agreed in the treaty. The economic prowess of Jewish scribes by now had faded, while the Muslims were confident and upbeat. This surah lays out the basis of Allah's contract with Muslims as the final revealed law. It puts it in context of the contracts the Jews and Christians with God. They broke the law, invented false beliefs and changed some laws of the Torah and Gospel. So they were sacked from the privilege of the favourite people of Allah. Muslims are cautioned, abide by the Sharia to earn my favour. Allah prefers those who obey the law. The new Muslim state needed laws to function as a well-ordered civil society. In this surah, 18 new laws are decreed. Contracts, testimony and the importance of honest witnesses, respecting sacred months, slaughtering animals, the lawfulness of seafood, rules of entering into a state of ihram for pilgrimage, intermarriage with Jewish and Christian women, apostasy, rules for cleanliness, the penalty for stealing, the penalty for brigandage and sedation, prohibition of intoxicants and gambling, atonement for breaking an oath, hunting whilst in a state of ihram, making a will at the time of death, and the penalty for those who violate divine laws. They are set in the context of various historical events. For example, the story of the Israelites' refusal to obey Musa when told to enter the Holy Land. The lesson was disobeying Allah's messengers merits severe punishment. The story of murder of Abel by Cain, an horrible crime. The relationships of various groups in the Arabian Peninsula are surveyed, and the Christian-Muslim relationship is highlighted. You will find the nearest and most affectionate to the believers are the Christians. Do not hate, but cooperate. Muslims are reminded not to let others' past wrongdoings stop you from being cooperative. Let bygones be bygones. Hatred is a bad policy. The next section forbids certain kinds of meat. Carrion, blood, pork, whatever is slaughtered in a name other than Allah's, animals killed by strangulation, a blow to the body, fallen from height, gored, eaten by beasts of prey, unless you are able to slaughter it before it dies, and anything slaughtered on the altars of idols. Animals caught by hunting dogs and trained birds of prey are halal. Extramarital affairs are forbidden. Be pure and get married. Muslims are permitted to marry Jewish and Christian women. Don't engage in sex outside of marriage or have love affairs. The 5 daily prayers are obligatory. Before the prayer, perform wudu, a ritual washing. Justice is important for building social cohesion and harmony. Behave justly. Give up discrimination. Believers, be committed to Allah as witnesses for fairness, and don't let hatred of a community stop you from being just. The Israelites' contract is revisited. Some kept the contract while others neglected it. So they are invited to follow the way of the blessed Muhammad, peace be upon him, to amend their past wrongdoings, particularly the Christian doctrine of Trinity. Those who say the Messiah, son of Maryam, is God, are denying the truth. The punishment for those who start war is death penalty. The next section is an invitation to get closer to Allah through mindfulness, good company, and searching for a spiritual teacher and ways of doing good. This only comes from righteousness, not wealth. Another divine law is to promote justice. An eye for an eye is just, but to pardon is charity. Religious differences are by Allah's will. For every community in the past, we established a law and a way of life. Had Allah wanted, He would have made you one nation, but He chose to test you regarding what He gave you. So, compete in doing good works. You will all return to Allah in the end, and He will inform you regarding your differences. A warning against choosing sides out of fear and not being just. Remember, victory is for the lovers of Allah. A harsh warning is given to those who give up their faith. They will ruin themselves. Similarly, a warning is given to those who poke fun at religious practices. When you call to the prayer, they treat it as a joke and game since they don't understand. They're warned. Christians invited to give up Trinity so they may achieve salvation.
يا جميل يا الله يا قريب يا الله يا مجيب يا الله يا حبيب يا الله يا رؤوف يا الله يا عطوف يا الله يا معروف يا الله يا لطيف يا الله يا عظيم يا الله يا حنان يا الله يا منان يا الله يا ديان يا الله يا سبحان يا الله يا أمان يا الله يا برهان يا الله يا سلطان يا الله يا مستعان يا الله يا محسن يا الله يا متعالي يا الله يا رحمن يا الله يا رحيم يا الله يا كريم يا الله يا مجيد يا الله يا فرد يا الله يا وتر يا الله يا أحد يا الله يا صمد يا الله يا محمود يا الله يا صادق الوعد يا الله يا علي يا الله يا غني يا الله يا شافي يا الله يا كافي يا الله يا معافي يا الله يا باقي يا الله يا هادي يا الله يا قادر يا الله يا ساتر يا الله يا قهار يا الله يا جبار يا الله يا غفار يا الله يا فتاح يا الله.
Next, we'll listen to the Ramadan wishes from the friends of Rumi.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Mohan. I'm a heart and lung specialist of 50 years in the NHS, and I'm also a friend of the wise man Mr. Kantar and a friend of Rumi Mosque. I know many of you in the Breakfast Club. Thank you for your time for today. As-salam alaikum. Salam means obeisance in respect and in humility in worship to the Almighty, and with the Hindu background that I come from, this is the Hindu way of paying obeisance to you, because we're all together from the Almighty. We're not alone, dears, and in this great month of Ramadan, which gives us to fasting, prayer, giving, and most of all, to self-evaluation of who we are, what our morals are, what our principles are, what our values are, and above all, an attachment completely to faith in the Almighty Allah. We then have begun this level of attachment not just for this particular month, but for the whole year around, but just by starting off in a small way during the month of Ramadan and continuing ever after. How do we choose to respond to the challenges of life, my dear friends? We do it in strength. We do it in body, mind, and in total faith to Allah the Almighty. Is this difficult? Maybe, but it is the commitment that we take in humbleness and in faith that will make us succeed in life as a human being, as a family member, as a member of the community, and overall as a proud human being attached to Allah the Almighty all the time. So you will find this divinity within you, inside your heart. I have no doubt in my mind about that. This divinity clearly says, we belong to the Beloved. This level of belonging to the Beloved allows us to move forward in life in total love, to live, to give, and most of all, to move forward in peace, in complete submission to Allah the Almighty. May I repeat, we are not alone, dear friends. We're all together under the guidance, and may Allah hold us all in His true embrace and hug us all together all through our lives. And may the peace of God and His blessings be with you. Ramadan Kareem, thank you for your time and your kind attention. Goodbye.
Now on to Young Hearts Beat for Ramadan.
Alaikum everyone, my name is Emra. Allah said in the Hadith Qudsi, if my servant loves to meet me, then I love to meet him. And if he doesn't wish to meet me, then I don't wish to meet him. Ramadan Kareem everyone, bye!
Once a wise man said, "Everything that is done in this world is done by hope." Hope is the only thing that can help human beings while struggling with numerous difficulties. Today, many lack the hope because of the ongoing pandemic, but we believe the darkest hour is just before the dawn. Babies in war-torn Yemen who only know life as a state of constant war, despairing refugee families in Greece who have nowhere to go or work, abandoned orphans in Tanzania living in harsh conditions, and the homeless in the streets of London who have nowhere to self-isolate are all on the verge of being forgotten. All these people now need you more than ever. They have never been put in a worse position. This epidemic has hit everyone across the globe, devastated them no matter how rich or poor. Nonetheless, for those living in poverty, it has been even worse without even being able to access to essential food and medicines. They need your help more than anybody in the whole world. But in the midst of all this, hope is achievable. It was because of you in the past these people had hope for a better and brighter future. Please, we ask for those unfortunate souls. This Ramadan, remember them again, and don't forget you are not just giving them a donation, you are igniting a flame of hope within them to carry on and not give up on a brighter future. You can be the reason for an unfortunate soul to gain the hope that will help them overcome their struggles. This Ramadan, do something remarkable and give hope. Visit our website for more information: www.timetohelp.org.uk.
Dear brothers and sisters, we have now come to the end of Ascension through Ramadan. Inshallah, we'd like to finish off with our iftar dua. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulina Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Allahumma laka sumtu wa bika amantu wa alayka tawakkaltu wa ala rizqika iftart. Oh Allah, I have fasted for you. I believe in you. I put my trust in you, and I break my fast with your sustenance. Ameen. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Jazakallah khair for being with us, and inshallah we'll see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.